sir. I appreciate everybody being here. It's good to be able to get pads on today. I thought there was good energy to start. I thought the guys came out, flew around, got started with the pace period. Seeing really trying to emphasize communication. Obviously as we're here early in fall camp, trying to be very aggressive with our installations, just from the carryover from summer. Now getting a chance to go against an offense and a defense, you're trying to put guys in situations where they're having to adapt, adjust, apply fundamentals, technique. I thought we started well. I was a little disappointed with a couple of the intermediate period practices, parts of practice. Have a couple of opportunities where guys get out there, compete, and just want more physicality. I wanted more. I wanted to feel it, and I told the team afterwards. I mean, there's a couple periods that we're putting into practice that it's all on us. You got to go out there and you got to do it. You got to be it. No music, nothing to bring any other emotion other than what you're willing to put on each snap. And I thought it was just average in the middle part of practice. Disappointed with what that was. But I thought the guys did a good job in their response as we came back to finish up with team. There at the end, I thought we got some good work, some really good film to be able to go from, and it's an opportunity for this football team to go take a step. And it's every day. Each day that's counted down, it's all we got. And the opportunity that's in front of us, we got to go earn. Anybody can stand behind a microphone and talk about what it is that we want, what we desire, what we believe, but at the end of the day, we get to go earn it. And coaches, players, everybody involved. And so that's how I'm approaching every one of these practices. And at the end of the day, I thought our guys, I think they're handling the install. I know there's, when you look at us offensively, defensively, the variations of different looks, personnel groupings, all the things on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's going to present challenges, and as we get to grow through each one of those reps, I mean, you're going to see the confidence grow in it. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to our communication, our technique, our fundamentals, and then just a mentality which we're willing to play with, regardless of any other circumstance. So, that's going to be the continued push. I think we're seeing some guys really take some positive steps. I mean, here in the early part of our practice, and I'm excited about what I'm seeing. I think Elijah Moore's had probably 3 days where he's continued to show up and make productive plays. I think he's really starting to grow into his own. Get to go back and watch every play from it today, but I mean, I'm excited about what I've seen from him. My Squirrels had a couple explosive plays. I think our running backs, they're really starting to grow into understanding the expectations of what it needs to look like. Defensively, I think Kevin Wynn is a young guy I've seen flash. I've seen flash throughout. I'm excited about where his continued growth is as he's built his confidence. I think our linebackers are playing fast. Want them to continue to take even more ownership. With the communication. Obviously the finer details of it. And then I think Earl Little's had really good first 3 days. With what we need him to be and what we're challenging him to be. I think he's really showing up, and you've done some good things. They're in the defensive backfield. So we've got constant challenge for this football team, and we'll continue to push.
All right, first question will be Chris on the front row.
You just mentioned several guys, but was there anybody today that fully embodied the physical nature you want to see, plus performed at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, I go back and watch, all of it, but, a lot of those guys that I talked about, I mean, I thought, Earl, you felt him, throughout, and there's still some things that he had to clean up and in it, but I mean, his presence is there to be felt. I thought it was good to see some of the guys on the offensive line, as they're starting to work together, and really it was the first practice since through spring, where we had all of our veterans that have come in, all of our guys that are continuing to grow. I mean, we've got, a few guys that are limited, but it was good to see them out there being able to work together at speed. When they do it right, definitely can create some space and movement. And so I'm excited to see that group continue to kind of gel together. But we've got to find that the physical presence out there on the perimeter. I think we have it. I thought there was some good work that we got today. I'm excited to go in and watch the film, but yeah, I mean, it was good to single people out.
Brendan?
Was it a discussion with the team midway through the practice to have them elevate, or was it something?
Well, I mean,
was it what you said? Was it something the players took them up
I mean,
themselves?
I think it's probably a good mix of all. I mean, coaches. I'm sure. I mean, obviously, I heard coaches coaching. Expectation. I mean, obviously, I was encouraging in my in my instruction in that moment, but also it's players. I mean, it's still a choice. I mean, it's still a choice what you do, what you want it to look like, what you want it to be. So I mean, they have to take hold of it, and I do. I mean, I like the mentality of what I see with this group, because I think we have guys that are willing to push that, to work to uphold that, and I want the example at the front end of it, and then that's to try to get before we have to have the response. Let's jump out in front of it. Let's establish that standard of what it's going to be, and then when we have to correct, inspire, celebrate, we're going to be there to do that. So, but yeah, I thought the players did a good job in it, and I felt the energy there at the end much better than just what I saw those couple periods.
We'll go second row, Liam.
We've heard a lot about Earl and kind of the progression he's made, but where, after a challenging season that he had last year, where have you really seen that growth and maturity come within?
I do think there's a lot that comes with this, the confidence of the work and the repetition, and I think he's, you saw the flash plays towards the end of last year. I think that he's kind of grown into, and he's playing in a position I think is very comfortable for him, being a safety. And he was playing a lot of nickel, and that was, there were some good things that he did there. But as you saw that when he moved back and got a chance to do that late in the year, I mean, you saw a very comfortable player, and now it's still the growth and some of the finer details of it. But I mean, he's embraced and embodied that. He comes with the right mentality every day. Even in the areas where he gets coached, I mean, he wants it. And everybody says I want to be a great player until you get challenged, and then it's like, all right, well, where do I go with this? And he's a guy that he comes with the right mentality, right attitude. He loves playing the game, and that's you see all of that's showing up, and I'm excited about his potential, but we still get to go do it.
All right, next will be Nick, front row on your left.
Talking about Elijah, he came in the summer last year. How much do you think a full offseason, full spring has really contributed to him getting a good start here?
I think it's really the time and the process of his progression, and I'm hard on Elijah. I challenge him every day because I believe in his potential. I really do, and I love him. I love the young man. I love who he is. He's got a great spirit, great heart. I think he's getting to grow through some and mature throughout this process. But he's really embodied that, and for 3 days, he's been very productive. The ball comes his way. He's been finishing plays. He's been it's not perfect, but he wants to be coached. He wants to be challenged, and another guy that I'm excited about just continuing to come along, and excited for what he can provide as long as he continues to progress.
I've got time for a few more. We'll go Ira in the back.
Could you just talk about evaluating running backs? Is it as simple as yards gained on carries, or is it what all goes into it? And with it such an important big first game, will college experience weigh the judgments at all? Like, how are you handling that?
I like running backs that gain yards whenever they get it. No, I know what you're saying. It is, it's really all. And there's some guys that. Are they going to put themselves in the best position? Are they going, because you play running back, there's so much to it. There's protection, there's tracks, there's, being able to set up runs, because you can you can see and react. And, you know, there's guys that are space runners, there's guys that, you know, you obviously are, you know, are reactionary to what shows. And so, you know, being able to find what guys do really well naturally, and then making sure that you're bringing that along for areas that are essential in what we're asking that position to do. And so, you know, productivity, right, and you know, as much consistency as possible is going to be critical. I do think that group, you know, we got some good leadership in that group. I think Roy Dell, he's been around college football for a long time. I think he's, you know, really, you know, his work ethic, his mentality, you know, he's a well-rounded back. I mean, whatever he's asked to do, he's going to do at a high level. And I think he's feeling, you know, very confident through the work he's done through the off season. You know, we've got some guys that have experience, and then we've got some guys that you know, really lack experience but are really talented. So it's about finding that mix of who's going to be able to go out there and, you know, obviously be productive, but then, you know, making sure that you know, in all the tasks that they're asked, that they're going to be ready to go and execute at a high level.
Last one, Corey.
We got to see Jeremiah yesterday, and that's an experience. And also Tommy Castellanos, it has a big personality too, and there are other guys on this team. How important is that, just in a locker room, in a setting, as long as it's productive, to have bigger personalities, kind of magnetic, galvanizing personalities? Does that help?
I think it starts out when Jerry talks. Do you think he loves football? Like, you think he absolutely loves it? That's what I want. And the personality of where it comes, like where, you know, all of it is like, you can't, it's like there's no faking that. It is like, man, it is true passion, wanting to be, willing to be, and you know, some guys get really excited about that. And, you know, I've been around Jerry's entire, you know, Jeremiah's, you know, I call him Jerry, so, you know, his entire career. But, you know, I think even he's probably matured through that process. But, you know, when you love it, like absolutely love it, that it goes to the edge, it goes to the desperation, and whatever it takes for me to go and be what I can. And then, you know, when you value who you do it with, like that's what I love about these guys that I'm watching. Is like, man, I think they really do care about, man, I know what I want to be, but man, I need these guys around me to help continue to push and elevate and what I can provide for them. And, you know, I think that's where the personalities make it, you know, enjoyable. And, you know, like, and I can use it, like Jordan Travis loved playing football. Loved it. He was not Jerry's personality. It was different. But it was that love and the willingness to go pour into others that make guys like really, really good leaders. And when you have that, I think that, you know, there's guys with big personalities, but if you don't have the substance behind it, if you don't have the work ethic, if you don't have the discipline, if you don't have if you're not willing to make the sacrifices, if you're not willing to invest in the guys around, then you're just a big personality. But there's no value for a team. Like I want to be around guys that love it, right, and are willing to push everything that they have into the middle. And when you have that type of personality, yes, I mean, the guys gravitate to that. Keon Coleman was, I mean, you know, he has such a beautiful personality, right? But man, he loved the opportunity to compete. He loved it. And so it's like when you have those, it's just those are you know, very impactful for a team. And I'm glad that we have some guys that are willing to put it out there and you know, and obviously backing it up with the work.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.